This is a refresh or quick tutorial on how to use Kuder Journey in the average counseling appointment here at COC. So to get started, step one is to go to kuderjourney.com. When your student's sitting in your office, you're going to ask them to log in with their username and password. When they took Kuder Journey at home or in the lab, they self-selected their username and password. Most students take 2 to 3 attempts and then they remember and they're able to log in. If a student cannot remember their username or password, then you can log in as a counselor. You can go to the Administration tab under your login, search for a student by first and last name, and you can see or view their username and reset their password. Once the student's in, let me log in. And I created my own student account. I took Kuder Journey myself. I highly suggest doing this. It's actually quite fun, and it might help you to become more familiar with the assessment tool. All right, so we're logging in right now as a student, and this is what the student's homepage looks like. There's 7 really useful tabs at the top. Today, we're briefly going to touch on 4 of the tabs that I would suggest you spend a few minutes on during your counseling session. There's no right or wrong way to use Kuder Journey, so please, like I said, play with it and see if there's something you like. There's tons of little hidden gems and wonderful tools within this website. So the first thing I usually go to with the student is the Assessments tab. Under the Assessments tab, we go to View Assessment Results. You'll see there's Take Assessment, which the student already went to, and there's View Assessment Results. When we click there, it opens up and it shows you a few different assessments. The one that I prefer to spend a few moments on with my students is the one-page summary report. This one, you can click into detail, and it's 4 different areas all captured onto one page, and I love that. It's very easy for the student to visually see where they land. So, like most career assessment results, there's the interest aspect. It talks about what they're interested in, what they're passionate about. The reason I love Kuder Journey so much is because of the Skills Confidence Assessment. This is one of the few career assessment tools that spends time working with the student to think about what they're naturally good at. Sometimes we're very passionate about something, but we just don't have the skill set. I enjoy HGTV shows. I love home building and remodels. Yet, if you give me a tape measure and some lumber, I can't build you a house to save my life. So we would look at my skills versus my interests. Here on the skills part, I like to ask the students 2 questions. The first question I ask them is, what are you good at? The second question is usually, what do others say you're good at? These 2 questions really help to spark usually an awesome conversation. The students might tell me that when they go out to lunch and they're splitting a bill amongst 5 or 6 friends, they're always the one at the end who has to divvy it up and collect the money, and they're really good at handling other people's finances. Or a student might confide and tell me that they're often the person that everybody turns to when relationships are falling apart. If 2 friends are dating and they're on the rocks, they might call or text this third party to ask them their opinion on how to solve their relationship problems. So we talk a little bit about that, and I love that if they aren't sure what they're good at, we go through their skills confidence assessment. Towards the bottom, the composite report is the next piece that I really spend a few moments on. The green is the student's interest, and the blue is their confidence level of how well they could do in that, their skills confidence level. So I love this because it means that I don't have to be the bad guy. If a student tells me that they're passionate about the medical field and they'd love to be a doctor or a nurse, yet they don't really have the skills to match it, they're not very good with numbers, they don't enjoy science, then this composite report nicely showcases that disconnect so that I don't have to tell them, oh, have you ever thought of a backup career? Instead, it shows right here that that might not be the perfect path for them, and instead it shows them other paths that they're a better match for. So I spend a few moments on the composite report. I don't spend a lot of time on the values assessment, especially if a student's 18 or 19 years old, right out of high school, and they've never had a job. There's not much there to talk about. So after we've gone through their assessment results, we then go back to the home page, and there's 3 tabs that I use. I use the Occupations tab, the Majors tab, and I end on the Job Search Tools. So on the Occupations tab, there's just one quick thing I want to show you. When you scroll in, there's many different areas you can explore. Like I said, take the assessment yourself, play with some of these areas. My favorite, though, is to start with the occupations suggested by assessment results. We click here, and the most important thing that you want to remember once you're into this, did I click? There we go. We're letting it think. Once you're in, it's going to ask what their education level is going to be when they're finished with college. It's really important that you change this around to where the student really sees themselves. If their education level is going to be an associate's degree, they're going to get 20 or 30 careers just for that level of education. If you change it to a bachelor's degree, they might find that there's 70 to 100. If they change it to a doctorate, there might be even more careers, but the entire career bank changes based on how far their education level is going to go. So you can change the education level, it's just a drop down. You can hit search, and then all of the careers below will drastically change depending on how long the student plans to stay in school. You know how to use this part. I don't have to tell you that. You click on it. It's connected to ONET as well. You can watch videos and tutorials. It's a great little tool that helps you to explore different career paths your students have been matched for. I won't go into more detail on that. We'll just jump into the next tab. The next tab that we usually explore is the Majors tab. The Majors tab, the way that I like to use this tool is actually, you can do the same thing where you can search assessment results, and it's very similar to show you different majors that they're matched for. Or you can go to title search. So over here, if a student comes and says, I'm definitely a psychology major, I love psych, I love the classes, but I don't know what to do with it. You type in psychology, you hit go, and this actually brings you to a program that matches you to colleges and majors. Very similar to assist.org's major search tool. What this comes up with is 76 different majors that have to do with psychology. So when you look through all 76 items that have to do with psychology, you see that there's different college majors: behavioral science, animal-assisted therapy, applied behavioral analysis. You keep going and going, clinical child psychology. These are all majors. If the student says, behavioral sciences sounds interesting, we can click on it, and it brings us to a list of colleges that offer that specific major. If you change the state from California to any of the states in the U.S., you can find that it even searches out-of-state colleges as well. So on this list, you get California community colleges, you get CSUs, and you get UCs. So this is an excellent tool to help you explore various colleges and throughout the United States that offer particular majors for each student. On the next tab that we'll go to, it's the job search tools. Now, I'm not using this tool because I think a student's going to be searching for a job. I'm using it because at the very bottom, they have a wonderful tab that's Find Professional Associations. I love this tab because now that the student has spent all this time learning about new career paths and they're kind of feeling overwhelmed, I give them homework. I tell them to go to Career One Stop, which is the first click. Takes you off of Kuder Journey and to Career One Stop, and they can type in, like I put in technical writers. You could type in circus clowns or whatever it is that interests you. You can put in the career path that they're interested in and they want to explore more. And when they hit technical writers and they hit search, they'll see that multiple professional associations for technical writers or similar fields populate. If they grab, I'll just grab the second one, Society for Technical Communication. If they grab this and they're thinking, well, what is a technical writer? What do they do? What do the jobs look like? They can go directly to the website, and on this website, this professional association, it will allow the students to search through live job applications for technical writers. They can learn what industries are hiring, how much they get paid, where they're hiring. Again, these are live job applications, so the students get really excited when they start to see their job come come to life. They see a real application that says that their bachelor's degree in English or communication studies is going to actually turn into a job one day. So I like to end on showing them how to use professional associations, and then I charge them with the homework task of actually exploring professional associations at home. The last thing I want to tell you is that anything you visit or touch on Kuder Journey, if you hit the yellow star on any of these different pages, it actually goes to their My Portfolio tab, and next time the student logs in, it's all waiting for them, and they don't have to try to remember, what did my counselor tell me? It's sitting right there. So if they're interested in becoming a child, family, and school social worker, and we tab it yellow, then the next time they log in, they'll find it under their My Portfolio and be able to remember exactly what you talked about in your last counseling session. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me, but I guarantee once you've taken the assessment yourself and played on it a little bit, you'll fall in love with it just as much as I am. Thank you.